Hello, I'm Clark Saunders, and I'm here to talk again about the Cassils and Saunders collection of songs for children called Tales and Tunes of the Old Testament. Craig Cassils is the composer who writes the music. I write the words. So far, I've talked about songs in this collection that are based on people and events in the books of Genesis and Exodus. It's time to move on to characters whose stories are told in later books. In doing that, we move from incidents that often involve high drama and events that are acted out on a grand scale to a story that is set in an atmosphere of simplicity and quiet domesticity and involves close personal relationships. The book of Ruth is a short one, just 4 chapters long. As short as it is, we often think of a few verses in the first chapter, verses 1 to 15, that are familiar to many of us and have touched many hearts. The book may bear Ruth's name, but involves 2 other women as well, Naomi and Orpah. Hence the title of our song, A Tale of 3 Women. The story begins with Naomi, a Hebrew woman who in a time of famine moves beyond the Dead Sea to the land of Moab with her husband and 2 sons. There the sons grow up and marry Moabite women, Orpah and Ruth. In time, Naomi's husband and sons all die. Having heard that conditions in her homeland have improved, and seeing no reason to stay in Moab, Naomi decides to go home. But it is an indication of her character that her daughters-in-law want to go with her. In time, Orpah reluctantly agrees to stay behind, but Ruth clings to Naomi and speaks the familiar words that begin, "Entreat me not to leave you." All this we recount in condensed form in the opening verse of the song. Ruth's words need a context. And so do the words of Naomi, which we paraphrase in what we might call the first refrain. "There's nothing here for me," she said, "so I must leave you and go back to my country." It is no judgment on Orpah that, as we tell in the second verse, she sadly decides to stay with her own people. But Ruth insists on going with Naomi and says the words that match the scripture pretty closely and which form the final 2 refrains, beginning, "Wherever you may go, I will go with you," and ending with a declaration, "Your God will be my God."
Naomi and her husband moved to a far-off land. There they raised 2 sons who grew until each one became a man. These brothers both got married, one to Orpah, one to Ruth, but then all 3 men died, leaving widows 2 still in their youth. And then Naomi turned to Orpah and to Ruth. "There's nothing here for me," she said, "so I must leave you and go back to my country. May God deal with you kindly as you have dealt with me." The women cried together, how could they bear to part? When Orpah finally said goodbye, she said it with a heavy heart. But Ruth clung to Naomi. She refused to stay behind. Naomi turned to go. In that moment, Ruth made up her mind. gently looked Naomi in the eye. Wherever you may go, she said, I will go with you, and I will never leave you. Your people will be mine, and your God will be my God. Wherever you may go, she said, I will go with you. Not even death will part us. I say it from my heart. Your God will be my God. Your God will be my God.
It's a moving story, and Craig's music, especially in those refrains, captures its wistful tone. It's a story about adults and may speak primarily to adults. But does it speak to children? Well, I think it does, because children are not strangers to the sadness of parting from people they love, or to the wish that they could go too. Take me with you, we sometimes hear them say, and they are not beyond being touched by the devotion that one person can express to another.